Friday, July 6th, 2018, 9:15 a.m. Greer. Greer Garrison Winbury thrives on tradition, protocol, and decorum, but on the occasion of her younger son's wedding, she is happy to toss all three out the window. It's customary for the bride's parents to host and pay for their daughter's nuptials, but if that were the case with Benji and Celeste, the wedding would be taking place in a church at the mall with a reception following at TGI Fridays. "You're a terrific snob, Greer," her husband Tag is fond of saying. Greer fears that this is true. But where Benji's wedding was concerned, she had to intervene. Look what she'd endured when Thomas married Abigail Freeman. A Texas wedding, with all of Mr. Freeman's oil money on grand grotesque display. There had been 300 people at the welcome party at the Salt Lick barbecue. Greer had hoped to live her whole life without ever patronizing a place called the Salt Lick Barbecue, where the suggested dress code was hill country casual, and when Greer asked Thomas what that could possibly mean, he'd said, "Wear jeans, Mom." Wear jeans to her elder son's wedding celebration? Greer had opted for wide-legged ivory trousers and stacked Ferragamo heels. Ivory had turned out to be a poor choice, as the guests of this welcome party had all been expected to eat pork ribs with their fingers. Shrieks of joy had gone up when there had been a surprise appearance by a country singer named George Strait, whom everyone called the King of Country. Greer still can't imagine how much it must have cost Mr. Freeman to hire the King of Country, and for an event that wasn't even part of the usual nuptial schedule. As Greer drives the Defender 90, Tag had it rebuilt and shipped over from England, down to the Highline Ferry to pick up Celeste's parents, Bruce and Karen Otis, she sings along to the radio. It's B.J. Thomas's Hooked on a Feeling. This weekend, Greer is effectively the bride's mother as well as the groom's, for she is 100% in charge. She hasn't encountered one iota of resistance from anyone, including Celeste herself. The girl responds to all of Greer's suggestions with the exact same text. "Sounds good." Greer despises texting, but if one wants to communicate with millennials, one must abandon old-fashioned notions like expecting to speak on the phone. Greer has to admit, it has been far easier to get her way with the color scheme, the invitations, the flowers, and the caterer than she ever anticipated. It's as if this were her own wedding, 32 years later, minus her overbearing mother and grandmother, who insisted on an afternoon reception in the sweltering garden of Swallowcroft, and minus a fiancé who insisted on a stag party the night before the wedding. Tag had gotten home at 7 o'clock in the morning smelling of Bushmills and Chanel No. 9. When Greer had started weeping and demanding to know if he'd actually had the gall to sleep with another woman the night before his wedding, Greer's mother took her aside and told her that the most important skill required in marriage was picking one's battles. "Make sure they're ones you can win," her mother had said. Greer has tried to remain vigilant where Tag's fidelity is concerned, although it has been exhausting with a man as charismatic as her husband. Greer has never found hard evidence of any indiscretions, but she has certainly had her suspicions. She has them right up to this very minute about a woman named Featherly Dale, who will be arriving on Nantucket from London in a few short hours. If Featherly is silly and careless enough to wear the silver lace ring with the pink, yellow, and blue sapphires, Greer knows exactly what the ring looks like because Jessica Hicks, the jeweler, showed her a picture. Then Greer's hunch will be confirmed. Greer encounters traffic on Union Street. She should have left more time. She cannot be late for the Otises. Greer has yet to meet either of Celeste's parents in person, and she would like to make a good impression and not leave them to wander forlornly around Strait Wharf on this, their first trip to the island. Greer had worried about hosting a wedding so close to the 4th of July, but it was the only weekend that worked over the course of the entire summer, and they couldn't put it off until autumn because Karen, Celeste's mother, has stage 4 breast cancer. No one knows how much time she has left.